Alright guys, welcome back to another one. So I've got quite an interesting update on the Kingdom Hearts Fortnite collab leak that was claimed by Adira about a week and a half ago that definitely did make some noise. This is something that I think a lot of people are collectively wanting, not just Kingdom Hearts, but to have some form of Square Enix representation within Fortnite. It seems like it will happen eventually, but to hear the news that a Kingdom Hearts collab is actually in development at Epic, and we could very well be seeing a Kingdom Hearts crossover happening sometime this year with Fortnite, is some pretty exciting stuff. This claim was coming from a relatively new Fortnite insider within the Fortnite leaks community, only creating their account at the beginning of this year, though they had definitely posted some credible stuff, so it was definitely worth paying attention to whatever claims were coming out of this account. In the short span of only about 2 months, Adira accumulated quite a following and even got cited by massive Fortnite accounts like Hypex and Sheena. They were absolutely becoming one of the more known and also credible Fortnite leakers within the community. However, earlier today, Adira's Twitter account has been completely deactivated. Upon searching up Adira's handle, you'll see that the account no longer exists. Now, from what I understand, this has been done on their own terms, meaning that this isn't a suspension, otherwise the Twitter page would actually tell you that the account has been suspended. More so, the removal of this account was actually done by Adira themselves. This is incredibly suspicious given that Adira has been very active on their account since creating it at the beginning of this year. Upon seeing Adira's recent tweets, there didn't appear to be any hardships or issues going on, so it certainly seems a little bit random for the account to just out of nowhere be removed, unless the deactivation was actually at the request of a third party. So who could be this third party? Epic Games themselves. This deactivation could actually be incredibly good news for all of the leaks that came from Adira. The most notable ones that still haven't been proven to be true, but have rather been claimed to be in development are Kingdom Hearts, Game of Thrones, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Ben 10, meaning that if it's a scenario where Epic reached out to Adira to politely ask them to remove their account rather than taking any other further action, could actually prove that all of the information that came from Adira is actually true and very real. Of course, though, the other possibility here is that all information, claims, leaks that came from Adira was just bogus, and that they decided to delete their account and run for the hills. However, I do find that possibility just kind of unlikely. There's nothing here that's happened within the past few weeks that would have prompted Adira to just randomly close their account. For example, if someone gets caught lying or spreading misinformation, then sure, that would absolutely warrant the closure of an account and moving on. Unless there's something that we just don't know about yet, the likely scenario here is that Epic Games obviously caught wind of the leaks coming from Adira and requested the account to be removed along with stopping the leaks. As the claims that were coming out of Adira were pretty wild. These are some pretty massive franchises that were claimed to eventually be coming to Fortnite. Kingdom Hearts alone generated a ton of traffic. A lot of people were talking about this. And of course, with the massive Fortnite accounts like Hypex and Sheena, who often cited Adira when talking about claims coming out of the account, it's not surprising that Epic Games would catch wind of this. After all, they do pay close attention to what's being posted by both Hypex and Sheena. A lot of people in the Fortnite community, though, are pretty devastated at this news. I've seen a lot of claims, but at this point it's kind of like he said, she said. A lot of people are talking about how it truly is Epic Games basically getting their ninjas and executing this person. But I don't believe that there is anything concrete just yet. It won't be until one of the claimed franchises truly does get revealed to have a collab in Fortnite where we will know, oh shit, Epic Games truly just went Tenchu Z up on Adira's ass. Because I'm absolutely certain that if it's a case where Epic Games did request the closure here, they'll make sure that Adira keeps their mouth shut. Otherwise, if Adira were to come out and mention, hey, I've been silenced by Epic, that automatically means that all claims that came from Adira are actually real. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me at all if it was the Kingdom Hearts claim or leak here that ended up getting Adira in trouble, just because of Disney's involvement. I mean, we know the Disney ninjas, they don't play around. Disney are incredibly protective of their IPs. If you pay close attention to the Fortnite space, you might be a little bit confused about this, only because leaks and content that has yet to be revealed generally happens all the time. You've even got Fortnite accounts that literally have millions of followers that are almost always talking about certain claims or things that haven't yet been officially unveiled by Epic themselves. And in a way, Epic actually endorse a lot of these accounts. So on a surface level, it seems as if Epic don't really care too much about Fortnite leaks, but that's actually not true. In the midst of this whole Adair situation, Hypix gave a bit of a breakdown on Epic's stance towards Fortnite leaks, and the gist of this is they don't really mind information coming out of what's currently within the Fortnite files. That's how a lot of stuff is known before it actually makes its way into the game through data mining. But they don't particularly like people talking about collaborations that are due to happen but haven't actually been announced by Epic. This is also due to the fact that this is a partnership and deal between not only Epic but whoever they're collaborating with. And when information comes out prematurely to do with collaborations, it directly impacts the marketing schedule set by Epic Games. And in the past, Epic have actually taken legal action against Fortnite leak accounts. FNBR is a good example here. Back in December of 2018, Epic sent a cease and desist to this account, which included the total erasure of their Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Discord. So this kind of thing isn't exactly uncharted territory for Epic. It's definitely going to be really interesting to see the outcome of this situation. Honestly, with how I'm feeling right now, I really do believe that Epic has gotten in contact with Adair and has requested the takedown of the account. However, we won't know for sure until at least one of these claimed collabs turns out to be true. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Be sure to slippity slap that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Big shout out to my wonderful patrons and YouTube members. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.